We've been taught that the most selfish or damaging thing that you can do is to break off a relationship. And I'd have to disagree. As a matter of fact, I believe that the most selfish thing you can do in context of a relationship is to keep a relationship going that you know is not right, right? For whatever given reason. If you know that you are not completely invested into this relationship for whatever given reason, it does not matter whether it's a chemistry thing, whether it is, there's a sense of abuse in the relationship, whether you just don't want to be with the person, you're not attracted to them, whatever it may be. The most selfish thing you can do is stay in a relationship with somebody that you do not want to be with, just so you can keep that thing together, just so you can keep the image, just so you can keep the facade, right? Or feel like you're not a terrible person. And so I created a list of 6 reasons not to stay in a relationship, right? Now, this is different than 6 reasons not to get in a relationship or not to be in a relationship, but instead not to stay. So using these 6 reasons to stay in a relationship, or if these are the only 6 reasons you do stay in that relationship, this is straight selfishness. This is a disservice, an absolute disservice to the other individual every single time. So let's get into it. Number 1 is you're only with them because you feel guilty for leaving. And this is the most common one I've seen thus far, right? I just feel bad. I feel so bad. I feel like a bad person. If I left, like they haven't done anything wrong, so, I can't leave them. That makes me a terrible person. Well, guess what? You got to do like my first published book says and start doing you guilt-free. You got to start living from a place of truth as opposed to a place of guilt. We really have to start to do that inner work to eradicate that guilt consciousness and start to see from a clear lens. When you start to really view things from a proper perspective, you'll say to yourself, if I stay with the person I don't want to be with, that means I'm actually being fake, inauthentic in this relationship, right? Which, to be honest, that is far worse than any sort of preconceived badness that you could get, or any sort of bad rap that you can get for leaving somebody for whatever reason that may be, right? And people might give you a hard time. They might think you're evil, you're the worst person ever. How could you leave them? They were the best person ever. But you know what? You got to do what is absolutely authentic and real to you and also to the other person. They deserve that. So they can go find somebody who actually fully, absolutely is given to them, right? Number 2, you don't want to be seen as the bad guy. Now, this ties right into it, right? Into number 1. There is this fear of being perceived or judged in a certain way. So the first one is really more about your own guilt. The second one is about other people's perception. You don't want to be seen by others in a certain way. And of course, all of it has to do with us, right? At the end of the day, if you see me as bad, then I'm going to feel bad about myself. Or you see me as bad, I'm going to feel that inherent sense of shame. And so when we are doing something in order to keep and preserve an image, we are being fake. We're being phony, we're being mask wearing, deceiver, whatever label you want to put on it. We're not being real, and so we are doing a disservice to both individuals. We're going to suffer, and they're definitely going to suffer. And the longer that you take to be honest with them, the more that individual is going to be locked up in that bondage and not able to go off. Like, I was in a relationship where I told homegirl, I said, look, I can't hold you back. I can't be a husband. I can't be your husband. Like, I was a young dude and way younger than now, and I'm not married here now. So I was like, oh, I know I can't be that right now. And I said, you might find your husband after me. And she did. She didn't want to let it go at first, but she eventually found her husband. Now she got 2 babies. Come on, man. Life is good. Number 3, you're hoping someday you will have chemistry. This is one that I resonate with. Due to my subconscious programming of me needing to earn other people's love, validation, affection, etc., I would get into relationships with those who did not understand me or those who were not completely simpatico with the way that I process life. So I would have maybe friends who I was so deeply resonant with and we would fire off and I can be my complete weird self and not have to taper it down. But then I find myself in these emotional, intimate relationships that were void of that, right? So I would think to myself, well, one day we'll have the chemistry. One day we'll have the chemistry, right? One day we'll finally, create this sense of kindredness, this bond where we're just bantering back and forth. We can talk for hours every day for the rest of our lives like I do with the people around me right now. But no, guess what? If there's no chemistry right now and y'all ain't bonding right now or y'all didn't have that like true hit it off, and I'm not even talking about, textual healing. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just character. I'm talking about personality. I'm talking about y'all just hit it off. You know, y'all could literally just be the best of homies outside of the relationship, but you also got that textual healing. Number 4, you're afraid of being by yourself. This one right here is a cruel master, right? The feeling of loneliness can lead us to do the craziest things and to be in the craziest situations. I've seen people who stayed in very abusive relationships because they're afraid to be alone. You would rather be in a place where you're getting the Beats by Dre put on you than you would walk away from that situation and be by yourself in solitude. And it's crazy because we don't realize that loneliness is not a product of being by yourself. It's a product of feeling disconnected. So you get in that relationship, you're lonely already. There's a lot of people in relationships, intimate relationships, friendship relationships, who feel hella lonely. So that's not the answer. Love is the answer. That's not the answer. The answer, the true answer, get connected with yourself. Number 5. You don't think you'll ever find somebody better. Most of my clientele are women, like most of my followers, clientele, etc. And I've noticed this in women predominantly, right? I've seen it in us as brothers, as dudes, etc. But I've seen this predominantly in women where there's this belief of like, damn, like I won't find nobody better, right? Because they say that, oh, only a few good men out there. There's only about 7 of us and everybody else is, you know, it ain't worth a lick, and everybody else in jail, this, that, and third, right? Or, you know, or they're gay, whatever it may be. There's 1,000 different reasons as to why I will never find a better person than the one I'm with right now. And that fear keeps a lot of people in relationships they don't want to be in. They say, this is the best I could do, you know? Settle down relationships. Like I was calling it I forgot what I called it on this damn video I did with Carrie, but basically, it's like one of these in-betweener relationships, right? Oh, a just-in-case relationship. There's a whole lot of just-in-case relationships out here. Just in case, I'm going to keep this relationship because I don't know. I might never find nothing better, so I might as well just keep prolonging. Well, guess what? As long as you keep that person in that position, you ain't going to have no better. Because you're already taken. You're already filling that void. The universe needs a vacuum to fill. You already filled it. You got that position. Oh, you're sending out resumes, but you already got that position filled. Sorry. And number 6. You're waiting until things get quote unquote worse. I wish I didn't have to go down this rabbit hole with this one. I wish I didn't have to explain this and break it down to a molecule. But it seems that we need that most cases because we won't just take the truth for face first value, right? You'll read, oh, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, things aren't so bad, so wait for them to get worse. Do you know what kind of sense that makes? Now, I'm not the average mathematician, but I done ran some calculations in my mind, and that math is not mathing. Why would you stay in order to see things get worse and then make your decision based on worse? That's how deeply conditioned we have been to believe in the nonsense. We look at life and think to ourselves, man, as soon as I get my tooth knocked out, then I'm going to leave. And then your tooth gets knocked out. You know what? But I didn't get the black eye with it, though. Come on. Oh, man, I'm going to wait till she scratched my car. What? You're waiting till things get worse? Bruh, if you know that they're bad already, it's time to investigate. It's time to leave that relationship and do some inner work. It's time to heal. That's what this is about. This ain't about going to find a better person because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to just vet somebody better. No, you need to get out that relationship. You need to go heal. That's what you need to go do. That's what you need. That's what you fix and go do. That's what you need to go do. It's time to heal. Period. So those are the 6 right there. I'm going to run through them one more again. Boom. Number 1. Oh, hold up. Got my DMs popped. I got all my stuff in Slack, so let me see. Number 1, you're only with them because you feel guilty for leaving. Number 2, you don't want to be seen as a bad guy. Number 3, you're hoping someday you will have chemistry. Number 4, you're afraid of being by yourself. Number 5, you don't think you'll ever find anyone better. And number 6, you're waiting until things get worse. Done. Peace. Oh, hold up. My publisher says I got to market my new book. Actually, I'm my publisher. So yeah, I told me I got to market my new book. So here we go. We got Doing Me Guilt Free, my very first published book. It is absolutely a necessity in everybody's lives. Like this ain't just, oh, for that demographic, for a person here in their life. Like, nah, this is an eye opener. This is a conscious shifter for everybody. So make sure to get yourself a copy of one of these. But until then, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Peace.